This week, we saw the trial of Sam Bankman-Fried over his role in the collapse of the cryptocurrency firm FTX. I've covered this story before, but we found out some new information this week, and it is wild. We're going to cover it all here this week on Wolves in Finance. As a recap, Sam Bankman-Fried was the founder and CEO of FTX, which collapsed almost a year ago in November 2022. FTX was a cryptocurrency exchange. Think of it like an online platform for trading stocks. But instead of stocks, you would give FTX your money, and then you could trade cryptocurrency. Since this was your own money, you would expect that you could pull it out at any time. Well, when the company collapsed, more than 1 million customers found that they could not withdraw their money from FTX. It has been reported that $8.8 billion of customer funds are unaccounted for. The company is currently going through bankruptcy, and we have yet to see if customers will get their money back. The reason why everyone's money disappeared was because FTX was using it for other purposes. When people started asking for their money back, there was no money to give them. What you would expect FTX to do, and what was promised in their terms of service, is that customer funds would be kept in a separate reserve account so it would be available for withdrawal. But what actually happened was that FTX commingled customer funds with company funds. Everything went into the same bucket. So when FTX started suffering losses, they were paying for it with customer money. This was accomplished by a division of FTX called Alameda Research. FTX would give the customer money to Alameda in exchange for a line of credit. Alameda would then use the money to make trades and act as a market maker for the FTX exchange. When Alameda started generating losses, they did not have enough money to pay back the funds they borrowed. How much money did they borrow? Alameda set up a $65 billion credit line. Some of the things this credit line was used for was to buy up other venture capital startups. In addition to the credit line, they also used customer funds directly. To make matters worse, FTX held a lot of their money in their own cryptocurrency called the FTT token, worth approximately $10 billion. The problem is that FTT token is not very liquid. So if FTX needed a lot of money, they could not just sell $10 billion of FTT token. There would not be enough buyers. So if customers demanded their money back, even though FTX was showing that they had enough assets on their balance sheet, they could not pay the money because it was a liquid FTT token. If the FTT token market tanked, the coins would become worthless. Let me just summarize, because this is all a bit confusing. Customers would deposit their money with FTX. FTX would transfer the money to Alameda. Alameda would use the money to buy their own FTT tokens and prop up the price. The price of FTT tokens would eventually drop. Customers started asking for their money back. Alameda could not convert the FTT tokens to enough cash to pay the customers back. So in my opinion, there's multiple frauds going on. There was the misuse of customer money, using that money to buy venture capital firms, lying on their financial statements, and selling worthless FTT tokens. All of this falls under the basic fraud that FTX was lying to its customers. FTX was marketed as safe, reliable, audited, and highly regulated. It turns out it was none of those things. Customers thought they were investing their money when in fact their money was just being sucked up by a giant vacuum cleaner of fraud. Sam Bankman-Fried is charged with 7 federal charges, including wire fraud, securities fraud, and money laundering. Sam has pled not guilty to all charges. What is really shocking to me is that he was also previously charged with campaign finance violations, but those charges have been quietly dropped. Remember, that all the customers' money was commingled into one bucket. Then Sam Bankman-Fried used that money to donate to primarily Democrat politicians. It turns out that Sam Bankman-Fried transferred $10 million to Joe Biden when he was running for president. That was not Sam's money. That was the customer's money. And apparently, Sleepy Joe gets to keep it all. That doesn't seem right. Why did this campaign finance violation get dropped? It certainly seems strange. So the trial is going on about the fraud charges. What is new this week is that we heard from two people who work directly under Sam Bankman-Fried. The head of Alameda and Sam's ex-girlfriend, Caroline Ellison, and we also heard from the co-founder, Gary Wang. This is the first time we heard their testimony. The reason this is so important is Sam Bankman-Fried has been doing press interviews for the last year, blaming the whole thing on his ex-girlfriend. He said he didn't know about the fraud. For the prosecution to convict someone of fraud, they need to prove intent beyond a reasonable doubt. Sam had to know he was trying to steal his customers' money. He has said in multiple interviews, "I did not knowingly commingle funds." So, according to him, this was all an honest mistake. Whoops! He accidentally lost 1 million people's life savings. Sorry. A phrase that Sam's lawyers keep telling the jury is that Sam was trying to fly a plane while building it. In other words, what he was trying to accomplish was so complex, so big, that it's understandable that he did not know everything that was going on. He is also blaming the collapse of the company on his subordinates. They were the ones who committed the fraud. Sam was just trying to clean up their mess. He was actually trying to save the company. However, the bad thing for Sam is that his former employees are saying explicitly that Sam is lying. At least 4 of Sam's close personal friends have turned against him and have made deals with the prosecution. According to them, Sam knew exactly what was going on. He was personally involved in the decisions, and they have proof to back up their testimony. The first person to testify was Gary Wang, co-founder of Alameda and FTX. He confirmed that Sam was aware of Alameda's financials, even to the point of discussing specific trades. As evidence of this, he produced a memo and chat messages with their conversations. Gary also testified that Sam directed them to write a secret backdoor into the computer code of FTX that allowed them to transfer unlimited amounts of customer money from FTX to Alameda. It's hard to imagine that these people did all of this on their own without Sam's direction. Next, Caroline Ellison took the stand. One of the shocking details was about how Sam Bankman-Fried recruited her. When she first arrived, she was surprised to find Alameda was already suffering large losses, so bad that more than half the company ended up quitting. She confronted Sam about why he did not tell her about the company's financial position before she agreed to take the job. She describes their conversation as, "He apologized and he said that he hadn't known how to tell me." I think this testimony is devastating for Sam's defense, that he had no idea what was going on at Alameda. If half of your staff is quitting because of the losses, how do you not know about that? You are the CEO. It is your job to know about that. In her testimony, Caroline also described the type of person Sam was behind closed doors. She described a conversation where Sam describes himself as risk neutral, which meant he was willing to take more risks than other people. Sam explained this with an example. Imagine if someone offered you a coin flip. If you flipped tails, the earth would be destroyed. If you flipped heads, prosperity would more than double Earth's current levels. Sam said that he would proceed with the coin flip. What? This guy is willing to risk the lives of everyone on the planet? This guy should not be running anything, let alone a finance company. Then Caroline showed an Excel spreadsheet she prepared for Sam in 2021 that showed that if Sam continued his strategy for FTX, there was a 100% chance Alameda could not repay its lenders, even if it borrowed FTX customer funds. So this is evidence that Sam knew the business situation even back in 2021, and he knew they were using customer funds. But before we accept Caroline's testimony at face value, we have to remember who she is. She is Sam's former girlfriend, a shunned former girlfriend, in what seems to have been a bizarre polyamorous relationship where they slept with multiple partners. In a Tumblr account post linked to Caroline Ellison, she wrote, "When I first started my first foray into poly, I thought of it as a radical break from my trad past. But to be honest, I've come to decide the only acceptable style of poly is best characterized as something like Imperial Chinese harem. None of this non-hierarchical nonsense. Everyone should have a ranking of their partners. People should know where they fall in the ranking, and there should be vicious power struggles for the ranks." What? This makes it sound like there was some weird sex cult operating out of the executive offices at FTX. Now, Sam Bankman-Fried has also been questioned about what was going on sexually between himself and his employees, and he dismisses these questions as gossip. But Caroline said it herself. It's not gossip when you say it yourself. What kind of person posts this on the internet when you're the head of $1 billion corporation? Not only that, Caroline also tweeted about her own drug use. She tweeted, "Nothing like regular amphetamine use to make you appreciate how dumb a lot of normal, non-medicated human experience is." What? What is wrong with these people? I will tell you my opinion. These all seem like horrible people. Normal people don't do things like this. They all seem guilty to me. 1 million people lost their life savings because they were lied to. I hope that the customers will get justice in this trial. Now, the trial is still ongoing. So far, it has just been the prosecution presenting their case, so the defense still needs to present their side. But it seems like everyone has turned on Sam Bankman-Fried, so I'm not sure who the defense has to testify that will prove Sam did not commit fraud. I actually want to take a step back from FTX, because I think there's an important lesson going on here that people need to realize. These problems are not only happening at FTX. This is an industry-wide problem in crypto. Let me bring up another example. There's a crypto coin called Tether. Tether was created by another cryptocurrency exchange called Bitfinex. So just like FTX had the FTT token, Bitfinex had the Tether token. But Tether has a unique feature that makes it very valuable. Tether is pegged 1-to-1 with the US dollar. Unlike Bitcoin that fluctuates up and down in value, you will always know how much Tether is worth. It will be worth the same as if you held your money in US dollars. The downside of US dollars is that they are highly regulated. For example, if you're holding US dollars in your US bank account and you want to transfer out $10,000 to buy something, you have to tell the bank what you're using so much money for, and they report your transfer to the FBI. If instead you hold your money in Tether in a foreign bank account, it's completely out of reach of the US government. You can do whatever you want with it, and you don't have to tell anyone anything. Sounds great, right? Tether has been wildly successful. It is the largest cryptocurrency in terms of trading volume and makes up 64% of the market among stablecoins. It passed Bitcoin in 2019 to become the most traded cryptocurrency in the world. Why wouldn't you want to hold all your money in Tether? Well, because there is a problem. Tether promised its customers that if you gave them your money, they would hold an equal amount of dollars in reserve for every dollar you give them. So if you want to pull your money out at any time, they would just give you your money back. Well, it turns out that was a lie. Just last year, Tether lost its peg to the US dollar when trading dropped to 95 cents on the dollar. The U.S. Commodity Futures Trading Commission opened an investigation into Tether. They found that Bitfinex was doing the same things that FTX was doing. They were commingling customer funds, using the money to pay other obligations, letting third parties hold the money, and holding reserves in other assets that could not be liquidated. So if everyone asked for their money back at the same time, they would not be able to return the funds. In fact, the Trading Commission looked at a 2-year time period, and they found that Tether only held sufficient reserves 27.6% of the time. This was a blatant lie to customers. The Commodity Futures Trading Commission fined Tether $41 million. Here's the point. This is an industry that's only been around for a few years. These are all new companies run by 20-year-olds. There are no rules and regulations, and I'm seeing people give these companies their life savings. If you're getting involved with cryptocurrency, please be careful. Anything people are telling you could be a lie. This is different from investing in stocks or bonds or dealing with traditional banks. With traditional banking, there are rules they have to follow. Companies have been around for decades. People have track records for doing what they say they're going to do. But even with the traditional banks, sometimes they still try to scam you. But compare that against these new crypto markets, where anything goes. If you're investing in that space, you have to take precautions that people may be lying to you. And it could be a fancy new way to take away your life savings. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think that Sam Bankman-Fried is guilty or innocent? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, I want to give you a quick update on what's going on with my channel, because just this week, I had another video get demonetized. Here's what happened. YouTube went back to a video I posted 2 months ago and demonetized it. It's unclear what happened here. Was it fine for 2 months and then they went back and changed their mind? Or does it have something to do with the fact that I just posted a video that was critical of the corruption in the Department of Justice, and now they're coming after me? Now, I don't know why my videos are getting demonetized, but I'm asking for your help. If you like my videos, the best way you can support the channel is to sign up for a monthly membership on my website, wolvesandfinance.com. For $6 a month, your support helps keep this channel going even if my videos get demonetized. With your help, I will keep bringing you videos with the information you need to know. I'm Zach from Wolves and Finance. Thank you for watching.